Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday morning, October 6th. We are looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And yesterday we had a triple distribution day, 3 sets of single prints. So L&M is one distribution, the meat of the profile is the second distribution, and A and B is the first one. The important thing for me today, two things. Most important, here's last week's high in the top of the 5-day balance. That's where change took place yesterday, right? D did take out the balance and the weekly high, but then got rejected for the next 2-3 hours until KL&M, where change took place and went out with a price probe and the third distribution. So for the bulls today, they certainly want to hold D's high. If you get accepted back into the meat of here, back inside this profile, the 5-day balance, nothing's really changed, right? One day doesn't make a market. So the goal is to stay above it, take out yesterday's high, attack the price spike from September 16th, and then go for the next big destination, which is that weekly high of 343.06. So let's go over a game plan. Destinations right now. Yesterday's high of 339.96. Now, right now my pre-market high is 339.82, so right above. It's right above below yesterday's high. Then above that, the price spike 340.31 from the 16th, 341.12, 10 wide from the 16th, and then 343.06, that weekly high. Right, that's the top of the 4-week balance. For the downside, we have the price probe of 339.94. Right now, that's being rejected. If we open below L's high, that would be rejected. And then we have all the single prints I gave you. First set gets filled at 339.19. The second set gets filled at 338.87. The third set gets filled at 337.23. Then we had the lowest accepted price of 336.58, and then yesterday's low of 336.01, and that small little 9-point gap gets filled at 335.92. When I do give these destinations, I've certainly not given them for my own health. I have them written down. So for people who do like to write them down, please do so, because, again, I hate repeating them. This way the videos get kept to a very reasonable length. Game plan for this morning. Well, right now we're inside M's range from yesterday, which is fairly small, right? It was only about 60 cents. That's a very small M range. So the key early is, do we stay in it? If we stay in M's range, then there's a good chance you'll trade all of it and test yesterday's high, and then we see what we get above it. If, however, again, there's still 70 minutes to go before the opening. If in the next 70 minutes we open below it, well then, the price probe is rejected. That set of single prints should be filled. And then I wouldn't doubt if we attempt to get into the meat of the profile. Remember, we were 8 wide yesterday. Never made it to 9 wide. We actually lowered it before we exploded to the upside, which is very interesting. Yesterday's volume was a horrible 45 million. So we had a huge upside on all the indices, and the volume was horrendous. It is only one part of the equation, but it's something that can't be totally ignored. So inside of M's range like this, really not much of a play. If we get up towards yesterday's high after the price probe's rejected, you can take a put play. You know you're out. If you take out yesterday's high, the price spike of 340.31 should at least be tested. So if you get above yesterday's high, you'd get out of the put play and see what happens at that level. Again, above that, there's nothing for almost another $1 to the 10 wide, and there's nothing to the weekly high. So there is pretty much a void to the upside. So if they get above that price spike, you can see some more acceleration to the upside. If, however, that's where sellers were on that day, we find sellers there again, well then good chance you'll come back inside of yesterday's range. So a put play at M's high, either out above yesterday's high, or certainly out above the 340.31 price spike level if we get above that. That's one early put play. Call play, again, there's a bunch of things you can lean on here. You can take a call play at the bottom of M to see if L singles hold. You can certainly take a call play up to and including D's high. Any acceptance into D's range would mean 2 sets of single prints are filled and you're going to probably trade at least in the meat of the profile from yesterday. So the question is, what kind of heat do you want to take? Again, it's not a lot. M's low is 339.39. D's high is 338.87. It's only about 50 cents worth of heat. So it might be worth a call play or a long play, but I am certainly out if accepted into D's range. And that would also be, remember, value would then be at least overlapping to higher, if not unchanged. Right now we're looking at higher value. If we gap higher in the next hour, you can take a call play out if the gap fills. Again, you're getting all this with this being live streamed and my play-by-play throughout the entire trading day. And then just quickly on the charts, we'll do the weekly and daily again. The goal for the bulls, the next big step is the weekly high right here, 346.06. Otherwise, we're in a 5-week or 4-week. We could actually call it a 4-week balance, right? We could use last week's low and this week's low as the bottom of them. We could disregard this one for now. But regardless, you're still in balance, even though we're one time framing up 2 weeks. We need to take out and get accepted above 343.06. And on the daily, again, above the 50 one day, but it doesn't make a market. I called it up. Now they want to resume that upward move and get away from this 5-day balance. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.